Today I will be reacting and learning about Napoleon's forgotten footprint in the Dutch streets. So this is gonna be super interesting. I mean, it's something that I really love, to learn about the Napoleonic Wars, that period of time. It's postmodern. It's already contemporary history. I think the modern history ends about. Yeah, I feel like I think it ends with Napoleon's defeat, right? Modern history. I might be mistaken. I mean, those are just made up stuff by some historians. Whenever a period ends, it's not like there's a bell that just go like Middle Ages done, Renaissance. Okay, whatever. Let's just check out the video, learn something new about the Netherlands.
Often you'll hear that a city has layers of history. Well, today we're going to look at one of these small layers. French occupation
I can't hear properly the audio. Okay, let me put English subtitles.
of the Netherlands under Napoleon. And we're going to see the impact of this occupation on the Dutch public space. Come and join me. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Welcome to Haarlem. What? Haarlem again? Yes. But trust me, this is the place for this topic. You'll see. When the French under Napoleon conquered the Netherlands, they reformed it a lot in the short 18 years they ruled here. Today, I won't go into the conquering part a lot, but the summary is that the Dutch normally depend on the water barriers to keep the enemies out. Mainly inundated lands. If you flood a big piece of land just knee deep, it's very hard to pass, because you don't see what's under the waterline. But in a very cold year, these water barriers become a sheet of ice, and the French just waltzed in.
Oh,
It was so cold that even our navy froze and was trapped.
it's rarely being talked, this Dutch occupation by the French during the Napoleonic era. I mean, it seems prior also, because 1795 Napoleon wasn't yet commanding. What became emperor, I think, in 800, right? Something like that. Yeah, this is really interesting. We definitely need to check out more Dutch history. I want to learn more about it.
Trapped in the sea. This led to the situation where the fleet had to surrender to the horseback cavalry of Napoleon. So, what did the French do to streamline this new territory of theirs? Well, they did a lot of things we now take for granted, like introducing last names, land registry service, and the metric system. Before Napoleon, the Dutch had a system of feet and thumbs that varied from city to city throughout the country.
I had no idea.
The Dutch have their highly organized country to thank partly to the French. Well, probably at this point in time, some of the Dutch will enter their sayings about French and France in the comments. Je suis désolé, I'm sorry for that, but can't be helped. Yeah, the French aren't the most liked. Actually, who do we like of our neighbors? Anyway.
It feels like it's everywhere in Europe, right? That nobody likes the French. It seems like a common theme throughout Europe.
It's sad that we have a negative image of a country we still have a border with. Now I hear you thinking, the Netherlands, France, a border? Oh, trust me, there is one.
Yes, if you have watched that movie that is really funny, Chez les Ch'tis. It's a very interesting movie about this guy that lives in the southern part of France, and he does fuck up. He works for the post office. He does fucked up thing. He fake being injured, like handicapped, to get a place in Paris, and yeah, it doesn't go well. So he gets, let's call it, relegated to Berck, this place that is on the border with the Netherlands, and people speaks a little bit different. Well, actually, is it? I think it's in the border. It should be, wait, let me show you the map. It should be around this part, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and it was very interesting. Like, everyone spoke with this sounds that in common French is not really common. So yeah, everyone was having a hard time understanding, but at the end he really liked it, he embraced the culture and all that. So yeah, that was very interesting. So yeah, I just wanted to share that when it was
Think
talking
about
about the
it
border.
without Googling, and I'll come back to it later. So, what did the French do to our cities? Well, the French introduced street names, for instance. What could possibly go wrong? Well, if you think that the Tweede Hoge Woerd Dwarsstraat is a bit long, you're wrong. Because Dutch go a bit overboard in places like Heerlen.
Oh
Here we
my
have the
god.
Ingenieur Meester Dr. van
Wow.
Waterschoot van der Grachtstraat. That's a mouthful.
I don't think I've ever seen like a street name in Italy written on 2 lines. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, probably yes on 2 lines, but not because it's long, like because they want to differentiate maybe the... I don't know. Actually, I might be wrong, whatever.
Of course, they also went the completely other direction. Like here, the street is just called A.
What?
Luckily, the next one is just called B. Yeah.
What the hell?
Some streets don't even need a lot of translation.
Fuck Span.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a good thing. The French themselves actually don't have given names to their streets. Well, not all. Actually, only last year they made a law to go and do this. Let's hope they do better than with some of their city names.
Bro, what the hell?
But sometimes in
Is
the
that
Netherlands,
real?
it went wrong. Here in Hoofddorp, we have the street Graan voor Vis. Well, street, it's more like a neighborhood. It's named after a single farmhouse that still stands here somewhere. Yeah, the numbers range from 13,000 until 19,999. It's a bit much, don't you think? Actually, the plan was that this was just the beginning of the neighborhood and more numbers would be added later. Luckily, the gemeente decided to abandon the system with so many house numbers. Oh yeah, house numbers we also got from the French. So, what could possibly go wrong? Well, besides Hoofddorp. Yeah, Maastricht is a bit difficult, but Haarlem has something special. Let's do a quiz. A friend invites you to come over to his house on the ground floor. Quick, which doorbell do you ring? Left or right?
Oh.
Rien ne va plus. Hold the bets. Well, your friend should have told you that if he lives on the ground floor in Haarlem, it's black, and upstairs it's red.
Oh.
The red and black house numbers are due
I've never seen that
to
before.
the tax the French introduced. And why is it in Haarlem? Well, this was, in that times, the epicenter of power.
But I mean, it makes a lot of
This is the
sense, you
place
know?
where the first king of the Netherlands used to live. Yeah, the first king of the Netherlands, not one of these lot, you know, orange and stuff, but a Frenchman was the first king of the Netherlands. This was Lodewijk Napoleon, the brother of the famous Napoleon Bonaparte. He was the first king of the Netherlands. He lived here, in this building, which is now the headquarters of the provincial government. It still holds a bit of the original furniture, like sitting beds, because people believed you should sleep sitting in the time.
What?
From here, the French introduced new laws and mainly taxes that shaped our city. Besides nationalizing all the church towers and all the other stuff. Yeah, so taxes.
I mean...
The French introduced a tax on windows in 1812, which has until this day a lasting effect in our cities. It was an easy tax to collect, but of course it led to tax evasion. Lots of people decided, well, if you pay per window, then we'll just get rid of some.
Makes
And
sense.
public health was poorer for it. Funny enough, even the building the king used to live has these blocked up windows. But maybe that's because the tax was still here after the French left, about 80 years.
Wow, I mean, this is such a cool video. I'm subscribing right away. What do you mean he has only 352 subscribers. Everyone watching my video, please. I always leave a link in the description, you know, for you to check out the original video. Come on, go and show some love to this guy. I mean, this is super interesting stuff. What the hell? I've never seen anything like that. Like, there is the shape where you can place your window, but there's no window. Wow, never seen anything like that.
Years later. Also, this is the reason you don't see a lot of small windows anymore. Big windows became the norm because you paid per window. But the effect is even bigger because architects would start using this bricked up window style on newer buildings, even in this present day. Because here we have an old building of 1881 and this one of 2024.
Yeah, it looks pretty much the same.
See the detailing on the new one. Now, every time you visit an old city, not only in the Netherlands, you will start seeing this everywhere. Another tax the French introduced was the tax on wine. Wine was cultivated in the Netherlands, but to be honest, the cold weather which came in this period wasn't very good for the growing anymore. This time was actually known as the Little Ice Age. Anyway, cold weather, better production of beer didn't help the wine, but the extra tax probably was the last straw. Dutch wine fields disappeared. But there's an irony here, because Napoleon Bonaparte himself, his favorite wine was actually Dutch. But I'll come to that later.
Let me know, what's the most typical Dutch wine? I know about Dutch beers and they're pretty good, but what about Dutch wine? I want to try it. I want to actually try it.
So, didn't the French leave any nice buildings or anything? Well, they weren't around very long, but there are a couple of things we can look at, of course. The first thing is a pyramid. Wait, what? The Dutch have pyramid? Yeah, of course. We have everything. Well, this one is made out of ground and grass, though. This is Austerlitz, a place named after a battle far away. Here, the French army constructed their pyramid as an exercise to fight boredom. Later, this pyramid was named after the famous battle. It took a couple of restorations, but it's been standing here for more than 220 years.
That is so cool. I had
Another
no
monument
idea.
I would like to mention. Well, yeah, but we have to go to Paris.
Arc de Triomphe.
Wait, what? Not the Netherlands? Yeah, I cheat. But you will learn something. You know this building, I'm sure you do. This is the Arc de Triomphe. And it's about the Netherlands. Well, at least a small part of it. Yes. It commemorates the victories of Napoleon Bonaparte. And on this corner, it says Alkmaar.
Oh!
Why? Well, one of the biggest victories of Napoleon was there. In 1799, the British and the Russians landed near Bergen on the Dutch coast. This is close to Alkmaar, but it's not really Alkmaar. The invasion force was defeated by the French. Actually, a lot of prisoners of war ended up here in Haarlem. Bit weird to think about Russian prisoners ending up here in North Holland. Well, history will repeat itself in the Second World War, but that's not for today. Anyway, this is how Alkmaar is now on the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. So, have you figured out yet where there's a border between the French and the Dutch?
Oh, well, wait, actually I'm so stupid, right? Because yeah, it's the French movie is about the border with Belgium, not the Netherlands. Yeah, the other one is in the Caribbean island. Which one is it? Yeah, I cannot find it right here, right? In the Antilles. We checked out that video before.
It's not in Europe, it's in the Caribbean. These two countries share a border on the island of Sint Maarten. And because we like a bit of folklore in this channel, there's a tale about the creation of this border. In 1648, the two countries each controlled a side of the island. And they needed a border. Instead of going to war, they decided a fair way to distribute the island. Each chose a representative, and the two men would walk around the island.
The
The two men
croissant
would
and
start
the
at one
tulip.
point, they would meet each other there, and then they would each start off, and where they would meet again on the other side of the island, then the line would be drawn and the division would be made. So why did the Dutch end up with the smaller half? Well, the story goes that when our man started walking, he somehow got caught up. This is Geneva. You probably know this gin because the British stole it and they couldn't pronounce Geneva. The Dutch representative decided to have a
is
couple
that
of
why?
these
Gin
and
Geneva.
lost time. So this is how we ended up with the smaller half of the island. See, drinking is bad for you and for your country. Anyway, follow me for more lifestyle advice.
Okay, but I still want to, I'm still very curious about that island. Which is the best side, the French side or the Dutch side? Which one would you say? If you have been there, which one was the best part? Fucking my wife never watched these videos.
Oh yeah, talking about drinking. Remember Napoleon liked Dutch wine?
Yeah.
Well, the Dutch wine came from South Africa. In South Africa, there's an estate called Groot Constantia. Here, they make very good wine. Not only
I've
Napoleon
never
liked it, but
tried,
all the emperors and kings and nobility of the time. Imagine how
South
rich you
African
had to
wine.
be to get your wine from halfway around the world at that time.
I mean,
Actually, the winery still exists today.
oh,
Now, the founder of the vineyard was called Van der Stel. He was a
Understel.
Dutch governor of the colony on the Cape. He learned his winemaking skills back in Muiderberg. So it really was Dutch wine. This colony was founded actually by accident, a real accident. In the 17th century, a ship ran aground in the Table Bay. Its crew had no choice but to abandon the ship. They set up on land and survived for a year. This led to creating a trading post there, which would grow out to become Cape Town in South Africa.
Oh,
So you know,
this is so interesting.
the ship that started all of this, South Africa, the estate, the wine, was formed by accident. And the name of this ship? Haarlem. See, I told you. All roads
Bro,
lead back to Haarlem.
that was a great video.
Well, thank you for watching and see you next time.
This was actually really nice.
Next video up in a couple of weeks will be the second part of the popular surprises and secrets of the Dutch street.
I'm looking forward to see that video as well. Oh my god, if you have watched this video, please, I don't even care if you're gonna subscribe to my channel or whatever. Just please check out the description or write on your YouTube page Napoleon's Forgotten Footprint in the Dutch Streets and subscribe to this man. This video was really incredible. Wow. I really loved it. I really loved it. So yeah, please go and check it out so you can make more videos and I can learn more about Dutch history. Wow, that was really incredible. And I apologize for my mistakes in history. Oh my god. I feel so bad thinking that whatever. whatever. Let's forget about it. Let's just cancel it from our minds, okay? That's gone. Okay, I will see you in my next video. See you soon.